All right, guys, welcome to the Media Hijack Podcast. I'm your host, Billy Walters, and joining me is Chris, Unholy Jesus.
Hey, welcome back, fam.
Happy New Year's, everybody. Welcome to the Media Hijack 2023 edition.
Yes.
Holding it down.
Yes.
First episode for the year. And we're going to start it off with the bang, with the missing 411 topic, which is about missing people in national parks, by David Paulides. He's like the guy that's doing most of the investigations. And we're going to be talking about that before we start. If you guys want, it's raining like crazy. If the lights go out,
yes,
we apologize. But if you guys want to get some Media Hijack t-shirts, head over to the MediaHijack.com. Grab you some official t-shirts. Also, if you guys want to join us on Reddit, you could visit our Reddit community. And if you guys want to catch the replay for this live Twitch video, head over to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe also. And then don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe to this audio podcast on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts.
Wherever you consume it at, wherever.
Yep. I forgot to write the little intro down, so
I lost mine. That's all over here, like kind of quiet because, like, I think I deleted my intro, man. I got nervous.
Perfect, because I forgot mine too.
Okay, I don't know what happened. I'm mad at myself.
It's all good. I'm mad too. I'm like, hey, where's my shit?
God, that's good. I don't feel so alone then. All right, cool.
Off to a great start.
Yes, starting off this year great.
All right, let's start with some fun facts before we get into this topic.
Yes, sir. Let's get into it.
I didn't know this. I thought like Bruce Lee died old, but he actually died at 32. You knew that?
Yeah, he was like a young guy. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like thinking about my own life. I'm like, damn, we're like living past these celebrities.
Yeah, we're way older than, not way older, but older than Bruce Lee now. Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure. He was a young man. Yeah, brand new father and everything too. I think because his kids were like super young.
He accomplished a lot, like for his age.
He's like a legend.
Then I'm looking at my life. I'm like, what the fuck did you do?
Yeah, man. That had me
to do a reflection time.
That had me feel the same way too. Sometimes when I see like celebrities that died young, and I'm like, and they have such a cultural impact.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, okay, I'm 37. What the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, you know what? I'm carving out my own path.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's when I take a step back and be like, hey, what are you talking about? Then I start thinking about everything, and then I did a lot.
Yeah, man.
I accomplished a lot of shit.
Still got a lot more to go, too, man.
A lot more, and I'm, growing my own tree, Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
Be like Walter.
That was like...
literally.
That's like the movie Black Messiah, and it was about the movie, the black, like one of the Black Panther leaders, Fred Hampton, how he died at the age of, I think, like 20, 21.
Damn.
But he was the leader of a movement that changed, like, the landscape of America, or at least helped. And shit, I was like, man, what the fuck was I doing at 21? Like,
he had real followers.
Yes.
Not bots.
Real followers, not no bots. Real people out in the street.
Damn.
So, man, what was I doing at 21? And I thought about it and getting drunk.
Well, you know, like what they say, like in the past, like they had it rough so we can have a good life.
Yeah, man, they laid the foundation.
Yeah, and now like we had it like good too, but now the generation after us have a super sweet life. Like the generation, the young ones growing up.
I don't know. I was watching something earlier today. The first Gen Z politician just went into Congress, and even though he's about to start working in Congress, he's like living on somebody's couch right now because he went into debt just trying to like get himself into Congress. So it's like, damn, it's debt-ridden society. So
that's just him.
But yeah, I don't know. I think it might be a thing where they're gonna go through some hardship too. A lot of them are still too young. They still like living off of them with mommy and daddy, whatever.
Yeah, I'm like speaking like for like the regular families where they have kids now and they just give them everything.
Oh, I have noticed that a weird way with discipline is different now with
iPad generation
with millennials and how they are with their kids. Their parenting is different.
Yeah, it's whatever they can have their kids busy so they don't bother them.
iPads and melatonin.
Damn.
The gummy bears. Yo.
iPads and Ambien.
Like, I know an iPad is definitely number one tool for parents. That's
lay them out like bricks.
$200 gives you a nice buys you some time to rest or have sex with your special one in another room or something. You know. So it's a good investment.
Put a little dab of Ambien like in their little Kool-Aid bottle.
Yo, eat up, drink up.
Hey, Billy.
His collapses.
Like, damn, that's a new record.
Timmy, you good? Shake him.
Laid out cold, ice cold. All right, I have another story that's funny. I don't know how true it is. I just heard it on the web. You know how internet is.
Yeah.
Okay, so imagine like you being a conjoined twin, right?
Uh-oh.
And your conjoined twin is like your brother.
Yeah.
You guys are cool. Like you guys share like genitals and stuff. But your brother happens to be gay. You're straight. And he happens to get a boyfriend before you got a girlfriend.
I think I heard. Is this an old story or a new story?
It might be old.
I think I've heard of this
Because
before.
this I got these notes from like 3 other podcasts where I keep forgetting to tell the story because it's so funny.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like how like if you think your life is bad, like it could get worse, you know? So like imagine conjoined twins, right? One is gay, he has a boyfriend, but the butthole's on your side. Imagine that.
Wait, I thought they shared. Okay, so they share the same dick,
Yeah. And the butthole's on your side and you're straight.
but it's on your. Damn.
So now he about to choo. Like,
Well, with the right brother, I'm guessing the left one is, I don't know. Just so the one who's gay, is he? Ooh, is he gonna feel it?
I think he's just gonna witness it.
Just watch his brother get his back blown out.
It's gonna tell.
Damn.
It's gonna tell his brother describe how it feels.
It's like,
like,
look, James, I told you I like him. Can you just take this one for the team?
It's like, who knows? You might like it too. Like, what?
No offense to them, but who would want a man who would want to be with a conjoined twin?
Hey, 2023.
You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to them as a human beings. But you know what I'm saying? Like, who would?
Everybody got their kink or whatever.
What would we call it, a kink? Would it just be?
Oh yeah, it's not a kink.
Would it just be?
Well, people just like people.
You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to. It dawned on me. I was like,
oh, you're gonna get in trouble, huh?
is this really?
Yeah, it's not a kink.
No.
Yeah.
You love who you love.
I take that back.
Love who you love.
Yeah.
I see what you mean, though. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, people are into like weird stuff. Like maybe like somebody's like into people that's paraplegic.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Like they just have a thing for people
with no limbs. That's a real
every
thing.
day when you
rolling down the street.
Yeah.
You know, those real things.
Oh shit, we're not gonna make it.
No, we're not, man. We're starting this year off bad.
We're just lighting the dumpster right now. Like just light it up.
Already.
Light it up.
But no, I just crossed my mind of like, I didn't know people would be attracted to anything of that level, I guess. Basically, somebody, you know, people have like their.
Well, old people, pedophiles, they're into kids. So when you think about it like that, like being into somebody that's conjoined, not that far fetched.
I mean, it's legal.
Yeah.
So at least, I mean.
But would it be like rape though? Because the other guy is like straight, he don't like it. So they're gonna deal with some lawsuits.
Oh man, I was about to say that the brothers gonna have to go at it.
He's just gonna be like, hey, only oral. You cannot use the butt because
Use
they
your
belong.
mouth. But then, who wants to be next to it? Hearing your brother go like who?
Just put the blanket in the middle.
Put some headphones on.
Earmuffs, Billy.
That's horrible. I'll be like, you know what? Cut us in half, and if I survive, I survive. But I'll be damned if I'm gonna be stuck.
That's selfish because you guys both might die. And now it's gonna be 3 people that's dead for no reason. When all you had to do was give it up. Because he was like, well, if you had a girlfriend, I'll let her use my penis. Then he was like, this is lose-lose. Like, I got the butthole, you got the dick and everything.
You get all the fun, I get all the. I'm getting blown out.
Let's get into this episode because that's a bit wild.
I've heard of that story, but I didn't know what the placements of the genitals were. That was new to me.
Yeah, it's a bit too long. Yeah.
All right.
So okay, so we're gonna be talking about the missing 411 cases, which is about mysterious disappearance and now with UFOs.
Yes.
That's involved in this story now because David Paulides is a guy who has a background in law enforcement and has worked as a detective and patrol officer in San Francisco Bay Area. He also served as a volunteer search and rescue team member and has worked with various law enforcement agencies on missing person cases. Paulides has claimed that his research has uncovered a pattern of strange disappearances in national parks and forests in Vancouver, British Columbia.
Okay.
So they all know, like, the park rangers and stuff, when they see David Paulides, they know his background already, like in law and stuff. And they would approach him asking him if they can investigate this park, because the rangers there are noticing, like, when they have strange disappearances that happen, it's just so weird, where it baffles their mind what's exactly going on with these missing cases and the people and everything, the details involved in the disappearance. Because it's strange. Like, the guy would go missing, right? He goes to the park all the time. He goes missing, and then, like, all his belongings all, like, spread out and shit. Like, his pistols, like, all the way northbound off 75 somewhere, like, really far away.
Yeah, this thing, he was like a super duper, like, nature lover. Like, this dude was super outdoorsy.
He would be considered like Boy Scout level 5.
Yeah, like someone who, if he was ever in a situation where he needed help or any type of distress in the wild, it seemed like he would, more than most people, it seemed like he would know a way to either get like attention or whatnot. Like for example, like I remember they talked about how firing 3 shots in the air is supposed to be mean like SOS, which I did not know that, but that's
yeah, I learned that too.
Yeah, I was just like, okay, that's for whenever I get forced into hiking that I don't like doing, and I got the burner on me and some shit go wrong. Pop, pop, pop.
Oh, someone needs help. But yeah, he's one of those guys where he wouldn't go missing like that. And then if he did, he would have, like, you know, like his safety measures like in check. Like, he knew like what to do in certain situations. But his case was just so weird, how everything was so separated and shit.
Yeah.
All right, so so David Paulides, like many years ago, he was on a research trip to a national park when a couple of rangers approached him with a strange story. The rangers had both worked at the national park in the past and had been involved in a missing person case. So when the person first go missing, there would be like publicity like around the case, like over 10 days. After 10 days, silence. Like there was no other further information about the case. Like, it ended up to being like they just close it up, and then they never write like the records, like in like the national park records. So the records, they're not actually keeping up with the missing people at the park, which you find strange, right?
Yeah, for sure. That's something.
Yeah, shouldn't you keep like a tally mark on?
Yeah, and hoping because people get lost all the damn time in these damn national parks anyway. So let's keep it on file. And I mean, you got loved ones out there who want to find out if something happened. So you would think.
Yeah, and it's just a park, and you would think if you go missing at a national park, and once they send out search and rescue, they would be able to find you like quickly, especially using those hound dogs that just can sniff your scent.
Yeah, you would think they would have like every basic tool they need to go across the lay of the land. They would know every inch of the land
to at least find the body,
for sure. Or like specific areas where people might go missing. Like, hey, this is like a steep slope.
Yeah, somebody
might slip off and fall, so kind of monitor that area a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
a very good lay of the land more.
Because it's not like these people, like, let's say like they're involved in a murder case and they go missing. It's not like that. Like, these people are actually going hiking, then go missing.
Yeah.
While they're going on the trail that's already, you know, carved out for them. They're just going on their trail.
Yeah.
And then they go missing. That's the wild part. And they can't find them.
Yeah. I mean, and granted, you do have some people that go off the trail and want to do their own little adventure and stuff. But still,
it's still not able to find
at all, at anything. I mean, you find items, but no blood, no.
Yeah, because there would be like some instance where a family is walking, right, with their child, and then they will turn around, child gone, mysteriously just vanish. Freaky as shit, right? That's when David Paulides is like, hey, a lot of these cases, because he started looking in more into these missing people, and he found out there was like a large amount of people in like the Vancouver area that went missing. So he's saying something is not adding up. So, you know, his spider sense is like, all right, we have to look into this further, because now it's not making sense now.
Yeah.
With the amount of people that's missing at this certain location. And it just keeps getting more strange to where, like, towards, like, I guess, like, I wouldn't say, like, the end, but towards, like, up to, like, now, they're starting to say, like, maybe this has something to do with, like, UFOs and aliens. because a lot of the people that they did interview later, where they had like encounters with alien spacecraft, they said that they were abducted and stuff, and then they didn't take them because they said he wasn't full. He was like, I wasn't full. They're like, so he was thinking maybe because he had a vasectomy.
Yeah.
They didn't want him because he's been like, he doesn't produce kids.
Yeah, was the guy like out hunting or something? How did the story go?
He was like hunting elk.
Yeah, hunting elk. And then he winds up getting abducted, and then while he was on the ship, he starts seeing like, I guess we call them the grays in the story. I can't remember if they did describe what he looked like. They said hair like straw.
Yeah, straw.
And weird like shit. But it's
maybe like Paulides, huh?
Yeah, something like, when I first saw it, I thought it was like a clown. The first time I saw the hair, I thought of
Clown Posse.
Oh, you remember on Rugrats?
Oh yeah.
The little doll Cynthia, the little toy doll from was it Angelica?
Yeah, or the Island Boys.
Yeah, there's another one. Yeah, you go. Yeah, exactly.
Island Boy.
Yes. Exactly. Yes.
But yeah, so he described them like that with like straw sticking out of their hair, and they had like a suit with like an X like on their chest, like X-Men and shit, like Generation 1.
Yeah.
And first, like when he saw the elk, he was trying to shoot the elk, right? He shot it with the bullet, but then the bullet, he said it's like flying in slow motion, and then it stops like mid-air, and then it just drops.
Yeah.
Like he hit like an invisible force field. And he was like, what the fuck? So he picks up the bullet, puts it in his pocket. And that's when he sees, like, the alien come down. And then he was like, are you hungry? I guess he was like, I guess. So he throws him, like, these vitamin pills. He takes the vitamin pills. The next thing you know, he's on the spacecraft. I think he's naked or something. But he saw the 3 elks that he was hunting. They're already in the spaceship. And they're like, locked up, paralyzed.
Yeah.
And they told him, they're like, yeah, just go behind like the screen door. He goes behind the screen door, and they're like, we don't need you actually. You're not full. He's like, wait, what? Dropped his ass.
Bye.
Like a dime. Peace out. They dropped him, and then he fell on his shoulder, broke his shoulder, rolled down the hill. It's like, damn, that was rude.
For real. Like a bad date. Like they didn't want to give it up.
Damn, so I got a vasectomy, and now you guys don't want me? Like,
that's not like I remember watching that scene, and the first time I was watching it, I was thinking that, oh man, this sounds like a bad date.
Yeah.
Like when somebody didn't want to give it up, and they just like kick him out on the curb. But he went rolling down the damn hill and shit.
Yeah, like he's like,
they threw his ass out.
It's like, goddamn. And he was saying while he was up in the spacecraft, he was saying how they said they're here to collect like specimens like from the elk and from the ocean and then from him, but this dude was empty. He had no sac or whatever. I don't know how vasectomies work, but he wasn't able to produce sperm cell for these alien entities that needed for whatever planet they're trying to colonize. Or
well, here's the thing. This is something I just found out recently with vasectomies, because I think they like dig into your balls and they I don't know if they like
tie it to.
I think they tied up or whatever, some shit. I might be completely wrong, but what I do know, and this is the part of the story I was kind of like, This is the only thing I questioned about his story was when he said something about they threw him out because of vasectomy.
That's what he was guessing might be the reason.
It might be the reason. One was where his ex-wife, or what was it, ex-wife? She said he had never got a vasectomy before.
This was a different guy. I think that story was a different.
Oh, so it was a different dude.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad.
Because they were trying to confirm like the one that actually went missing.
Yeah.
Like if he had a vasectomy, just to rule it out.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, just to compare. Okay, gotcha. I thought it was like the same guy they was talking. Okay.
No, it's different.
Let me take it back. So
like her husband actually gone.
Okay, the dude was
never
gone.
came back.
All right. So ignore that. What I was about to say then. The other thing, because there was two things I found that threw me off. The other one was you can actually reverse vasectomies once you get it done. It's reversible. So I was like, did the aliens did not want to reverse it, or
yeah, I don't know.
That's what I was thinking. It was like,
I'm not sure.
Did they not have time? Did they pressed with time?
Yeah.
Like, we ain't got time to dig in your nuts.
They didn't make it clear. All they said is he wasn't full.
Yeah.
So they didn't give him detail. Because here's another strange thing about that case is, after they dropped him off, he went to the hospital. They did like a full scan on him just to see his health vitals. And then they found out that like his tuberculosis scars like in his lungs completely all cleared. It's almost like they healed this dude like completely. So to me that's strange as hell. Imagine having cancer, right? Then getting abducted by an alien, then they fix you up, but then it'd be like, oh shit, this motherfucker he got a vasectomy. Let's drop him back off. But then they cured your cancer.
They probably get like, damn, sorry for snatching you up. What problems you got? Oh, cancer? Shit. Y'all still dealing with that? Here you go. Bye.
Like, beep, all you need is rosemary.
Sorry for the inconvenience. Dip out, which is a good gift. That's a good apology. Hey, my
just
bad.
cured him, and and that was like one weird story because like the other lady you were talking about, where her husband actually disappeared. They asked him the same questions, like, like, did he get a vasectomy? She's like, nah. And then, I'm about to sneeze. But and he did it. And then I guess David Paulides like, oh, I guess that's why he never came back. They're like, oh, he was a good candidate.
I was say that, he was the perfect pick.
Like, oh, go back behind the screen door. All right, yeah. Bad news, you're not going back to Earth. Good news, you want to start a new life on a new planet. We're working on this new planet. We're trying to make just white people, though.
we just need you guys.
Yeah, because they didn't abduct Asian people. You know why?
All black people.
I'm trying to think of the theory of why they don't take Asian people.
Because we are all black people. I was about to say because we did have a theory before that they might not be from this earth.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say my theory.
No.
Yeah. Never mind. I'm not ready.
But no, I've noticed stories where it's either like everyone sees it, but only white people get abducted.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Strange.
Because when we see other people see it, it's always like people of color, like, oh shit, and then, but then they're
like,
taking the white people.
Psych. About to pick up his bias. Just playing.
Oh no. Sorry, black man, you're just light skinned.
It's a beautiful day in the neighbor. Where's Mr. Rogers? All right, so David began looking into missing person cases at National Park and was shocked to discover that there were actually a large number of people who had gone missing at these parks, and that this had been happening for a long time. He went even as far to he filed a Freedom of Act information with several national parks, but they claim like they did not maintain a list of missing people. So despite this, David persisted and eventually convinced the people at the park to create a list for him by offering them like $1.4 million. Mm-hmm. And then they started gathering up the list of missing people.
Hey, money talks, man.
Yeah.
Money talks.
Because it's actually a lot of work for those rangers that work at those parks to gather this information and actually put it into like a system. So he was paying them like hourly, like a lot. Because he knew it was going to take a lot. And then like the overall amount was like $1.4 million for them to gather all the information. But he clearly made all that money back because he was writing books about this, the missing 411 case. I think he wrote like, I don't know how many books, 9, 10, 12.
Yeah, it's like a series, which I didn't realize. So I looked it up. I said, there's a whole series of this shit.
Yeah, with all the people name is all in the books too.
Yeah.
And now like some of the national parks, they still don't have to have the names public. But I think like one of the parks, they have all the names. I forgot what park it was. But all his books and like the third film that he filmed for the missing 411 case, I'm pretty sure he made all that money back. But like the good thing is like, I was like, yeah, it's cool. Like he made all that money. But the main thing is like he's trying to tell people like something weird is going on at these parks.
No, for sure.
Like it's not even like it's not fake or anything. Like people are actually going missing and it doesn't even make sense. Like not even in the slightest realm of whatever reality you live in.
Yeah, because I don't know, there's probably some people out there want to try to dispute this situation, but the reality is these people are going missing.
Yeah, it's a real thing. It's not even made up. These are real names, real people that go missing, and all they did was try to have fun with their family, and then they completely go missing. So
I was like, if you don't believe me, look how the loved ones talk about them. They are like, I don't even know. I was with them at one point. They went out there, or they all felt like their people were competent enough to handle themselves in the wild, and they just gone.
Yeah.
But apparently these UFOs eat elk for damn sure, man. Like that's a.
Yeah, I don't know if they eat elk or they're thinking elk might be like an alpha species to put like on a planet to start, like a.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Just,
it's a good
to start a clean planet.
It's a strong animal type shit.
Yeah, because they probably have like one of the purest like bloodline or DNA of like the original species of what they evolved to if they evolved or something.
Something on genetic level because they're strong ass creatures for damn. They're big as shit too. So
yeah. Here's a story that's about a hunter who went missing over 50 years ago, but he was later found in a spot that was searched like way over 50 times. there's stories like that doesn't make sense. Like a hunter missing 50 years ago, but then they later found his body in a spot decomposed at a spot they looked over many times already. It's like he just appeared. Which reminds me of that TV show Dark on Netflix.
Yeah.
Similar shit. The kid goes missing. Next thing you know, his body falls like through a fucking portal. But it doesn't make sense, the timeline of that child and of when he arrived on that scene.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It's like his body came from like the past. Like he didn't even exist yet.
But
it's so weird. Like his DNA didn't match until like later, far in the future. Like
when they had DNA.
Like, wait a minute, this is fucking you. Like as a kid, it didn't make sense. It's such a mind fuck.
Yeah, because it's okay. I see what you're saying. Hell yeah.
Because the Germans, man, they were dabbling with that time travel, like portal, multi-dimensional.
There's always digging this shit, man. That's
like
why they
real deep.
That's why they had that castle when it was said it's supposed to be built over like the mouth of hell. Like I think it was like in Poland or some shit. Built the castle right over top of this gate to hell, but it was like supposedly doing experiments around that area, like or whatever.
Isn't that similar to like CERN, where they built it in a certain location?
Yeah, specifically, yeah. It's like there's a reason why for the location.
Because the folklore with that location was like there's like the god of the underworld that
right over that spot,
under that exact spot where they chose to build CERN. CERN actually it borders like 2 different countries.
Yeah, I think it's like was it Sweden or some other shit?
Switzerland and
Switzerland, there you go.
That other country. And you know Switzerland, they're known to make like really advanced shit. Like when I think of Switzerland, I think of Switzerland watches.
Oh, the Swiss watch, the Swiss watch, yeah.
Yeah, those watch builders. I think they
pretty good.
Run on another reality. Like
I never even really looked at those watches before, to be honest.
Or like Rolex watch. Like I don't know who builds Rolex watch, but it's so well built where you'll never need another watch. It runs lifetime. Because the way the Rolex watch, you can tell like it's fake. Because there's like a dial on there. Like any other watch, like you can see like the tick, like it shake, like But the Rolex watch, it just runs like smooth, like.
But it's always on like on point.
Yeah, it runs like. Basically forever like that.
I have noticed that too.
Yeah, that's why it's the way it's crafted is almost godlike, like that.
Like who put this shit together? Like
the metal, perfect balance, everything is like crafted by like alien technology, like using tools from another dimension.
And the timing is perfect. That's the thing. That's the real complicated thing. You gotta get the time.
It's like they manufactured the watch in like a anti-gravity like location, just between like Earth and like outer space. And
just
shit.
To get them what they call like just to get that shit like perfect.
Yeah, to get it dialed into like Earth time.
Right there.
Yeah, that's why.
No,
Rolex is one of those watches like it hit like some type of technological like milestone.
Yeah, it's like I think it's like at a peak to where. Now I think about you don't hear any other watches being talked about over Rolex because it's still like the Godfather watch, if you will. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's the brand for aliens. Like if they were to come here, they'd be like a luxury brand, Rolex. Because it works how it's supposed to work. Like there's no flaw to it.
Well, the aliens are probably like, oh, this is good for human standards. This is impressive.
Yeah. You know what I was thinking at work when I was thinking about all this AI technology, artificial intelligence. But then you know how artificial intelligence, it's getting so smart to where you're almost like, is this something behind this more than just the algorithms working? Like, is this something more like deeper than what we're understanding now?
What do you mean?
And then I'll start to think like, what if like AI doesn't even stand for artificial intelligence, but it stands for alien intervention?
Save ourselves, maybe?
Which is aliens
intervening in
our technology, and they were the one behind it. And it's not artificial; it's alien intervention. And I thought about that, and I was like, damn, that's deep. I got to tell people. We
need something to guide them. That's the only thing I could think of why they would intervene. Yeah. Either that or kill us if they're intervening like this.
No, if they want to kill us, it's a long time. We're dead a long time.
For real.
I think we've been like a planet where we've been abandoned by like our great ancestor leader, advanced, call them what you want, gods or whatever. They I don't know. I think they manipulate our DNA. They put us here. They were done doing their thing, and then they bounce. Because if you think about all the advanced civilization, it's almost like overnight they just disappeared off the map.
Yeah.
The Mayan civilization gone. in Cambodia. Their civilization gone. They don't really know like what the hell happened. Egypt, all that shit, like poof, like what happened? They just bounced. So I'm thinking we got abandoned by our gods, with quotations.
Get up out of here.
And they say, hey, we're gonna be back. You guys chill out, do your thing, we'll come back.
Oh, so this is like the equivalent of when the dad goes to like to the store to go get cigarettes and doesn't come back. He's like, all right, my children, I'll be back. Now just sit tight.
All right, I'm chill with Big Daddy and this guy.
I'm gonna run over to Nibiru right quick and
here's the original Bible. You know, because they probably got like the original text, and then whoever got like the book first, they started rewriting that shit.
Yeah,
like they're like, they fucking grabbed that shit, held it so tight, and then
I don't like what this says. I'm gonna change
this one because they're like, hey, everybody saw like they dropped this Bible from the sky, right? Like, where's the God?
Yeah, man. Because I know they try to draw like historians try to draw a very type of grounded level of thinking when it comes to these civilizations being completely wiped out mysteriously. And it's usually like disease. That's usually like the answer to go to for it. But I don't know. Some of this stuff don't be adding up to me. Not that I'm an expert on it, but there's some times where civilizations disappear. And I'm like, but it seems like it just came out of nowhere. Like you would have seen like a like how like a degrade, like you would see like society start dying down.
Yeah, like the weird thing is like they disappeared and they took their tools with them. Because this is why like people are so confused. Like, what tools did they use? Like, we don't understand. They didn't leave nothing behind. So they're thinking the whole time, what were they even using? Especially the Göbekli Tepe ancient site, which is like way older than like the pyramids and way more advanced too. Like how they were doing all the ancient structures out there, which baffled like all these ancient archaeologists to where they're like, okay, let's throw everything we know in the trash because this shit, it trumps everything that they even know about like history. Because it throws another monkey wrench in their timeline because it doesn't add up no more. They're like, okay, it's Stone Age time, Stonehenge. Like, okay, when did they discover metal or whatever? Because none of it adds up. And then to what they were actually carving out and making at Göbekli Tepe, it didn't even. It's like completely new shit. They're like, okay, we don't know nothing. It's like that.
Gotcha. Okay.
They're like, we don't know fucking shit no more. Like, hey, so does God exist? They're like, man, we don't know nothing no more, man.
We just here.
Where's the drugs at?
Where's the trip?
We need help. We need to get like on like a level of understanding because right now our normal brains cannot like fathom like the idea of something like that advanced way back then to where it doesn't even add up to their own timeline of like human advancement.
No, especially if my conspiracy brain is thinking if it was covered up. And then this is what they tell us how things were back then versus how it may have been. That shit would break our brains.
Yeah, that's my theory too, and that's what I actually saw, like in a vision, like in a mushroom trip. They're telling me how they capped our knowledge off. They kept us stuck at a certain amount of what we can actually learn, and then they teach us whatever, like beyond under the cap. We can't learn that much.
No, man. Do you think we're ready for it? I don't think so, man.
I am.
I don't think
Run it.
I think most people are not ready for that.
Run
shit.
it, upload, download all that shit. My brain be like, yeah, it was like that. I saw it too. They're saying our brain it doesn't even have the capacity or like the understanding to even hold that type of knowledge. Like, there's not a child on this planet that's born that can hold the amount of knowledge of our ancient ancestors.
No,
that's what I saw on a mushroom trip. My brain almost exploded like right there. Because I was like, holy shit, I'm starting to think like this is not a normal trip. I'm actually seeing real shit going down because I've never heard information like that like fed through me, like almost like I'm watching the History Channel, but they're showing me new shit I've never even heard or seen before. Saying like, oh yeah, you guys, your brains, how you guys are born, you're not even developed to like a form to where your brain can even handle this type of information. Like, even if you want to understand, like you can't understand it. Yeah,
you're not ready for it. You're not built for it.
You're not Neo. You're not the one. You can't even hold that knowledge, even if you wanted to.
That was just like I've been watching. I ain't gonna lie. I've been watching Power Rangers lately. Some episodes.
I heard. Yeah.
I've been watching Power Rangers episodes, right? And I was watching like a previous episode, with the original Red Ranger, Jason. He leaves the show and he comes back as the Gold Ranger, right? When he comes back as the Gold Ranger, he's only the Gold Ranger temporarily because even though he's like the most powerful ranger, it's slow. It's killing him at a fast rate because his body can't handle all that energy, all that. It's like even though like the race of people he used the outfit from, they look like humans, but the physiology is like a lot different. So it was like
damn,
killing man. Power Rangers is kind of deep with some stuff, man.
Damn.
We watching some of the stuff. I'm like, this is I'm digging the storytelling.
They really thought about that one.
He's strong, but he ain't that strong. He's eventually gonna kill him because he ain't built for it.
Damn, that's pretty wild.
Yeah.
I gotta take a leak real quick, and then when we come back, I'm gonna finish up the story and tell you like the rest of what I know.
All right.
You're back. All right, next story. Let's see. Oh, here's one of the key notes on what's going on in like Vancouver. The crazy thing is like so like with all the hunters that went missing in the particular area in Vancouver, every single one of those hunters, all German. And that dropped my jaw, dude.
I must have missed that part. Damn, what was I doing? I must have missed. I don't remember.
It wasn't in the movie.
Oh, okay. I was about to say.
I did like side research.
Oh,
on Coast to Coast.
My man.
Yeah.
They went even deeper.
Yeah, it gets even crazier because all the physicists went missing in that area too. In the same area, all German. They were German too.
Oh.
Not even another race. They're all completely German.
What do them Nazis do?
So I'm thinking this.
What do them Nazis do?
And you know that Dark series on Netflix?
Yeah.
German series. And that whole series is probably one of the most like legit storytelling of how time travel works. Like if you ask any like time traveler enthusiasts or people that dabble in time travel, they all agree that Dark was probably the one that probably has like the most closest. And it's like a German series. And it's to me, it's one of the deepest series on Netflix ever of all time.
And you said there was like a second show too that's supposed to be the same people that did Dark. They now
1899.
Yeah, and I saw the trailer for that. I saw the trailer. I was like, I don't know what's going on. It looks good.
Yeah, it's good. It's actually friendlier to watch. Like you can understand
easier. Okay.
Dark is hard to watch. Like
that's why I'm like. You've been telling me about this for years. I'm still like, I have it on my list. I'm like, one day.
It's a difficult show to watch, but if you're actually really into it, you're gonna like really appreciate that show.
Did you watch this did you like binge watch it or was like
no
based by season by season type?
I actually watched the first season 3 times to understand it. Like real shit.
How many episodes was in the first season?
Like 10 or 12.
Damn.
I watched it first time. I was like, I don't understand. And I watched it again. I was like, Third time I watched it, I was prepared.
You got it.
I was like, I'm gonna know what's going on. I had like a whole family chart.
Yeah, maybe something.
And right when you do it with the family chart, the show gets like 1,000 times better because you're like, holy shit, it all makes sense.
Because there's so many characters, right?
It's so deep, dude. How do you give birth to yourself?
Time travel, man.
That's when my brain was like about to blow up, dude.
Like, that's why that's why every time I watch any type of either it's video games or reading a book or actually I'm reading a book about time travel right now or like watch a movie or anything that deals like TV shows that deal with time travel. As somebody who always wanted to be like someone like a writer or whatever, my brain always thinks of, man, that's such a hard like. There's so many holes in time travel. It's how can you make a cohesive story out of it? You know what I'm saying? Because you could easily like just derail the entire like main plot, I guess, with it if mishandled right. You know what I'm saying?
It's almost like the more you get into time travel, the more you start to realize like time is nothing.
No, this ain't shit, man. This is this
like,
literally is a man-made construct.
It's almost like time ain't shit, dude.
I think it's a tool for us to make sense of what the fuck is going on.
Yeah,
but that's about it.
It's like a tool just to measure.
Yeah, something for us. It helps us, but
yeah, it's strange, dude. The more you look into what time actually is and stuff, and it's really mind-boggling.
Man, it's like Interstellar when they went out to space and then went to that planet, that ocean planet.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, hey, 1 hour on this planet.
Yep.
So it was 7 years on Earth, and like, oh shit, and it's been like 3 hours on the planet. Bonkers, man. It's relative.
Whoever like figured that shit out is crazy.
There's real shit like that too in space. It's really like that. It's like time is relative, man.
I don't know how they figured that out.
I always see it like this is kind of like in America, on the world, on our Earth, where different time zones. space got their own time zones too, man. This shit's same.
I remember coming across somebody like at my old job, and they didn't know about time zones. I was so babbled by that. I mean, not babbled. I don't know what word I'm trying to say, but I was so baffled. Baffled. Yeah.
Was he? Did he never? They never.
I think he thought the time was the same everywhere, and I told him I was like, no, like in Cali, like they're behind, like their time is not the same like ours.
So he ain't even a flat earther. That's he on some other.
He on one time zone.
Like, he's a far past anything.
I started to think like maybe he's like Georgia, like they don't really pay attention. I was like, I don't know. I was here a long time too. I drank the same water too, so
like we all
I don't know. Yeah,
some people just don't know. I guess I don't know.
All right, so back to David Paulides.
Yeah.
All right, so another story is like he came across a story about several young men who disappeared in urban environments, specifically around bars and restaurants. A witness reported that they simply vanished into thin air. After a search was launched, like the men were eventually found in a nearby river, but they said they didn't die by drowning. So these missing cases where it ended up happening to like a bunch of like college kids, and then they found all the bodies at like a river, like face down river. They're like, what the fuck happened to these guys? Like, so like the parents, they requested them to do like a second autopsy because they were saying like, okay, they're just down by drowning. But then later they found like extremely high levels of GHB. It's like a drug that's known for like the date rape drug.
Yeah, I know, I heard of it. Yeah,
and they found high amounts of this shit. And even though like the body, it does produce like small amounts of like GHP like in your own body, the amount that they found in these guys' body, they were wondering how the fuck did they even get this in their system like that. And then on top of that, they ended up like in like a river. So they're saying like if you had like that amount that's that high in your amount, like even if they were in the river and they were trying to do shit, they wouldn't even be able to even swim in the first place.
Yeah,
they would just like drown because they'd be like,
they can't do shit. They're paralyzed, basically.
Yeah, they're discombobulated. Cool word, right?
Yeah, you actually said it very well. That's a
good word.
I was over here nodding my head. I was like, okay.
You know, I learned that word in elementary. I was like, one day I'm gonna use it.
Discombobulated.
Yeah. I was like, I'm gonna use this word one day when the time is right. 30 forward, yeah.
30-some years later.
Discombobulated. Yeah.
Thanks, teacher.
Check.
Thanks, Mrs. So-and-so.
On my words to use checklist. There was another word that I put in the group chat that I thought I was never going to use.
Right.
But I was like, fine, I get to use this word. I forgot what it was.
How did you forget it?
It was recent in the chat. Remember?
Yeah.
Member berries.
I could look it up, I guess.
All right, so let's see. Okay, so next story. A man and his family were visiting a national park where something went wrong with their car. The husband told his family to stay put while he went out to check out the area, but the guy, he never returned. So, like, there's a search and rescue team for this guy. Like, this is just like a family guy, right? The guy was just telling his family, hey, chill out, I'm going to go check this place out. The dude never came back. So he completely disappeared off the map, and then they had a search and rescue team out. And then at this same time, like a local newspaper reporter was supposed to meet up with the national park superintendent. But like, however, like when she arrived out there, the superintendent told her like, hey, we're dealing like with this like a more serious case right now. Like, just chill out, newspaper lady. We'll get in touch with you later. Like, just go hike or do whatever you want.
Chill.
Yeah, just chill your balls. Like, we have a serious situation going on. So she was like, okay, like she don't know what's going on. So she goes hiking and stuff. And then next thing you know, she heard a voice screaming out for like, help me. And she's like, I don't see you. Like, where are you? He's like, help, I'm right here. She's like, I don't see nothing. Where's this voice coming from? So she freaks out. The local newspaper lady ran all the way back to the office, told the superintendent that she heard a voice of something that's calling out for help, but she can't see the dude. Then he was like, the superintendent was like, holy shit, this is like the same area yesterday where they reported the missing person, and at the same time they said they heard a voice in that area, but they couldn't see the body.
What?
So that's when, like the superintendent's like, holy shit, like something strange is going on. Like they can hear the voice of the dude, but they can't find the guy.
Like a disembodied damn voice.
Yeah, so when they got the story from that lady, right? A team of 30 people was sent to comb out that area, and they never found him until years later. Years later, they finally found the man deceased under a tree and his body decomposing at a spot that they combed over many times.
And still didn't find him.
Yeah, until years later, then the body showed up.
So somebody dropped it off.
Fucking crazy, right?
Somebody planted his ass there.
Yeah, after they were done doing whatever, God knows what experiment that they were doing with this young man. Because how do you go on a family trip and then just disappear? Makes no fucking sense.
For real.
What would be like, the motive behind disappearing on your family? Because you you don't like your wife or whatever?
Yeah, and did they say there's like any signs of like anything wrong with their marriage or anything? Or
No, nothing. Because they were on a family trip with the family, kids, and then he just said, "Hey, wait," and they had car problems. It doesn't add up at all.
No,
he disappeared because they ended up finding his body years later under the tree, dude, decomposing. Same clothes.
Which in a spot where the cops, like you said, would have definitely combed the hell out there.
30 people, a team of 30 after that was sent because they're like, okay, we're on to something. The newspaper lady heard a voice. Let's just search this shit like thoroughly.
Man, and I'm gonna let everybody know, and this is what I experienced too when I was in the military. They teach us like how, when I was in the military, I was basically military police, and there was times there was a training where I've never had to perform this in the real world, but we had to go through training where we had to do like what's it called, like a grid search.
Yeah.
So everybody would get in line, and we all like, and basically teachers like, hey, if anybody goes missing, this is your training right here. We're gonna go through grid searching, and so they would put all of us in a line, but we would be separated at a specific distance, like between each other, and then we'd be like, okay, we're all gonna take a step forward. Somebody at the end would give a command like, okay, look around, look for like possible bones or anything that might be undisturbed, like relative to what the area looks like. Okay, look around. All right, is everybody good? All right, 1, 2, 3. We'll take a step forward. Take a step. Everybody take a step in unison. Everybody's got to move forward and keep looking. But you really have to once you go like one through the reason why I call it a grid search is because you go in one direction, going up, and then you have to go from left to right.
Yeah.
In the same area. But it's like a grid basically. But it's like everybody's moving in unison. So when something pops up out of the normal that was not in the area that you search, it's like, man, come on. It's a pretty searches are pretty thorough. Just trying to find a body or anything. Right.
So you think they're like implementing like that same grid search
more
style?
Likely, yeah. They do. It's used for like missing people like a lot. That's like the main.
Yeah, they probably use that same method.
Yeah, just go through like a grid search, like go this way, and then just to be sure, come across it from a different angle because the sunlight or whatever, you may not have seen it from this angle, but you may catch something from another angle. So like walking the same path. You know what I'm saying?
So there's just no way they were missing this guy.
Yeah.
And then years later, oh, there he is. Like, did you guys search this area? Yeah.
Oh.
Like 1,000 times we went past that stupid tree. What now? He shows up years later. Like he just got dropped off. Like bloop, they're done.
Officer Johnson, what the fuck? He was on grid search. Why don't you catch this? We know we did it twice. We've been through it.
Twice my ass. Yeah, we did. And that reminded me like of that show. Like right when I heard that story, because it's similar shit. Like when they were done with the kid doing their experiment. He was like blindfolded. His eyes were fucking burnt out and shit. Dropped his ass like a stack of dimes.
Shit.
Done.
Poof.
We're done. And then he shows up and then looking at like his Walkman. They're like, damn, this Walkman hasn't existed in 25, 30 years. You know, now everything's on Spotify. They're like, wow, Walkman. And then they're like, hey, wasn't this your missing brother from 25 years ago? They're like, yeah, but his body like returned almost like he just died a few days ago.
Yeah, not back when.
And he never aged too. They're so freaked out. They're like, he never aged, right? He was wearing the same clothes that he went missing, and his body got dropped. And then they looked at it like, none of this shit make any sense.
Yeah, because even though he's wearing the same clothes,
because the brother was actually older than the old guy. Because the guy was already old, he has family, but it's like, this was my brother, but why hasn't he aged, and why hasn't his body look like it's just barely dead?
Like he just left here yesterday or 2 days
like
ago.
Okay, he's like still warm. He has the same Walkman.
Is time different? Would you think time is different inside of a UFO?
I think they're just jumping in different like realities, like
Oh, so you think they took his ass away and went somewhere else and they came
like
back? Okay.
Multi-dimensional.
Because I was thinking like maybe just kept him on the ship, but the ship maybe is a different point. The ship operates on a different level.
I think like when they're in the ship is actually running in a different reality.
You know what I'm saying? Because like
Yeah.
it has to deal with like different times,
It's like
and,
vibrating different reality.
yeah. Because I would assume like when you like passing through all these dimensions or whatever. Because I think some people think that when it comes to UFOs that travel out there throughout space and all that, it's just like a straight shot, like just flying.
Yeah.
But the
It's
more
not.
the more advanced thinkers are like, yo, they open up portals and they jumping through this shit because space is too
Yeah.
damn big, and maybe they got something inside of the UFO to
Yeah.
maintain that time.
Here's like another theory. Like I'm hearing for somebody who does like DMT, like what they actually saw like on a DMT trip. They're saying like these UFO spacecraft, it's like physical spacecraft, right? But they're just basically designed to jump in different dimensions.
Yeah, the shape
It's
and everything.
Reality,
It's
reality hopping. That's why like when you see them like zipped in and out of like the sky and shit, like what people are describing, they're actually like zipping through like different
they're
realities.
just jumping out of here, yeah.
Yeah, like zip, like boom. They're like in 1942 and
Because
shit.
they're thinking like, oh, we're seen it as flying away, but to, like most humans are seen as flying away, but to them it's flying, and that's cute. Okay, guys, we
They're ripping through reality.
we skipping through realities and shit, and
Meanwhile, we're like, this is the only reality that we know
yeah,
because we're so
we stuck here, man. we don't know any better.
yeah.
It's like a child being homeschooled. I don't know. I feel like it's how humans are. It's like we don't know nothing any better outside this planet because
Yeah, we don't know. We just
don't-
don't,
we don't
know
know
nothing
shit.
beyond what they give us. Because if you think about it, how many like space companies are out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we don't even know the information until they tell us.
yeah, and that's a lot. And at the same time, it's like how much the government allows them to want to tell or some shit. I'm pretty sure they could block that shit. And
Everything,
heartbeat, you know
even
what I'm
how
saying?
like what they're doing like in China stuff. Like if the China people, if they're doing the protests, right, they didn't want that shit to get out. They'll bring out like cars that would fucking signal jam all their phones
yeah,
to where it doesn't even allow them to post anything at all. So
you're talking about the Chinese
Nope.
protesters and all that.
yeah, like there's like no, they can't escape from that shit. And
I just
then
heard-
they can block all your phones, and then when you try to scan your phone to take like a train and shit,
Uh-huh.
you'll be like marked as like red zone whatever, and you wouldn't be able to use the trains and shit. You're just basically trapped.
I just heard recently too that the United States is actually backing the protesters. Like they're funding their movement, just like a little bit, not like a trillions of dollars, but
That's strange.
The enemies, the two big dogs. They're trying to stabilize each other.
Yeah, that's
They got
something going on.
they have TikTok with us, and then America's funding their protesters like with money, like whoever's running the shit.
I heard another thing, like those protesters are just not real protesters too.
Really,
It's just too much stuff now.
I
Don't know what to believe.
You know what I'm saying?
Because, like,
I was supposed to say I don't know what to believe now.
Because
Damn
like
it.
there's like other footage where it shows the protesters right doing their thing and shit, but then when the cops show up, it's like they all clocked out. They're like, "All right, show's
done."
over." Yeah, I was like, that looks a bit strange.
Yeah, man.
I actually saw that today, and I was like, "What's going on, man? I don't know."
And cut. It's like, all right, we're done.
Director and cut.
Oh, damn, that's strange.
It is strange.
I didn't hear about that one.
Yeah, I was like, "What?" Hired thousands of protest actors, and then right when the police arrive, yeah, show's over. Like, all right, next time tomorrow,
Because usually the protesters be fighting the cops.
6 p.m. tomorrow. Yeah.
Because usually you see the protesters be fighting the police and shit. You know, they be throwing that.
It's weird. It's strange. But one more story before we finish this episode.
Yes.
So, like, in an effort for David Paulides to understand all this, he was sent to like a physicist, right? The physicist told David that portals and multi-dimensional travel are real, and that he was on a panel of 7 other scientists that studies like these dimensions and stuff, working for NASA as a contractor. So they're telling them, hey, these dimensions, they're all real. Portals, they're all real. But their main shit that they're trying to do is to figure out how to arm that shit to their advantage. Like, he's not trying to prove to him, like, oh, portals, dimensional, multi-dimensional exist and stuff. They're telling David Paulides, like, this shit's real, dude. There's like, it's real. We already work, like, with NASA as contractors. And right now, we're figuring out how to arm it to our advantage, like, so we don't get messed up while we're because when David Paulides was telling him the story about that guy that went missing, like in the forest, you can hear his voice, but you can't see him. He was saying, yeah, he's most likely he was trapped in another dimension where he can see you, but you cannot see him.
Oh, okay.
Like a reality split.
Yeah.
And he was saying same shit. He was
like it's like a one-way mirror type shit.
Yeah, like a one-way mirror.
Yeah.
Even physically.
Yeah, on
a physical one-way mirror, like where the dude cannot even. He ended up starving to death because he was like, it's like, hey, like you guys can't see me. Like imagine that, and then you would think like, is this how ghosts feel?
Yeah, and that's when they probably get frustrated, and then
like fuck it,
poltergeist start happening, and shit go
and
flying
then they
around.
actually die, but then they don't actually die. They're like back and doing their little shit, walking around in like a dead dimension, like Stranger Things, upside down world.
Yeah, it's in like with Will, like
yeah, it's like the same shit. The dude was like in the upside down world.
He's like, man, I'm not dead, like I'm here, but I seem like I'm a ghost, but I'm not in this reality, like. Christmas lights.
Yeah, so moral is like the story, learn Morse code.
That's the key, yeah.
Tell everybody to play Ouija board.
Ouija board, you learn Morse code.
Yeah, I forgot it all though.
My girlfriend, she's actually learning Morse code right now. Now, I told her about how I told her about how like you learned it.
Yeah,
we
for that game,
for the bomb game. I was like, dude, he was on it, man. I was like, he was.
Yeah, I was like, I was like making sentences and shit. I was
got so good at it,
doing
man.
my name. I was like, oh,
you were so good at it.
Yeah, it was fun. But yeah, that's it for this story.
Yes.
So we're gonna end this episode. Peace out, adios, guys.
See
but the
guys.
if you guys are in here, we're gonna do another episode right away.
Yes.
All right, peace out.
See you guys.
Adios.
It's not illegal to not listen.